From the Davis County Lions Club Fairgrounds in Owensboro, Kentucky, as Army Armstrong, Gary Lee set to bring you all the action, but with muddy track conditions, there's still a question about how heavy that sled should be.
Gary, right now they've got the sled set around 40,000 pounds, but what you have to remember is you don't want the sled too heavy on the starting line or too light on the finish line. We've got an interesting point we want to bring out. A lot of times people ask us about the names we mentioned, and we keep talking about Janke. Well, Jerry Janke is an engine builder out of San Antonio, Texas. That's where the name Janke comes from. Started in the sport of drag racing. Now we've got him over to truck pulling, and he's got his name, and his motors are some of the biggest iron in this sport, Gary Lee.
And he represents some of the biggest horsepower of all. And right now, we are ready for our first hookup. And this will be Howard Lewis in the high roller, the 1988 national champion. He is driving a Chevrolet. A lot of question marks because of the weather.
Again, the track crew, the sled is not official. The weight box comes up on the sled. You notice the sled has a tendency to move around behind the vehicle. He's picking up a lot of mud and throwing it back. I think they're going to have to reset the sled, Gary. He took it out here too easy.
A full pull for Howard Lewis, the former national champion. Now, when you say the sled is not official, you mean?
There has to be an agreement in this sport. This is unique. The agreement is between the track officials and the drivers themselves. And at the end of a run, you'll get a meeting. At the end of this run, you look for a TNT track official to go over and talk to Tony Osteen. If Osteen bangs it out the back door like Lewis did. Lewis in the Chevrolet, he actually made it look easy. If the Ford can do the same thing, I look for the track crew to reset the sled. Now remember, Mother Nature has got a lot of humidity in the air. These motors are making a whole lot of horsepower tonight.
Well, that's the trade-off. A muddy track, a very wet track, but high humidity.
Out of here. Yeah, he's out, Gary. Made it look easy, didn't he?
Well, the engines we started to say the engines like this, the high humidity, because they can manufacture more horsepower. So now we've had back-to-back full pulls. This is Tony Osteen, the Georgia Rebel, in a 1985 Ford 250, and he is all over this track.
Gary, look for a meeting. Osteen's got tremendous ground speed at a half track. He's going to bang it out the back door. We are going to have a meeting, I bet.
Well, of course, if there's too little weight on that sled and everybody has a full pull, we'd be here all night with the pull-off. And there is your meeting between Jeff Carter, an official with TNT, and the driver, Tony Osteen. Army, you go down and see what you can find out.
Let me find Jerry. Hang on.
Tony Osteen, a little controversy going on here about whether or not the sled is set. That means when they say the sled's set in this sport, that means it's official. Jeff Carter comes back.
You were out. Huh? You were out about that far out the gate. All right.
Okay. What we're getting here, Osteen pulls in the class. We just found out from Jeff Carter that he did make a full pull. Jeff said about 4 to 6 inches. You took the pull. That means the class is officially going right now, right?
Yes, sir. That's right now. I've changed it 2 or 3 times. I don't know what they're going to do. Track seems to be getting a little better every hook.
Right now, everybody's coming after you. We're going to sit and watch with you.
I hope they can't make it.
Tony Osteen, an independent who builds his own chassis and engine. And up next will be Glen Davis, Mr. Sparkle, with corporate sponsorship out of the state of Florida. And once again, he will need a full pull to continue competition this evening.
What's happened in the sport by virtue of a full pull coming early in the track? Look at all the mud coming off of the tires and the heat coming out of the engine. He's made everybody realize they've got to run twice. You've got to run once to make a full pull and then come back and get him in a pull-off. And Glen Davis does exactly what he has to do.
A full pull, 1,000 horsepower from 700 cubic inches.
This is one of the best guys in the sport reading the track. Yeah, but Gary, look who's following him to the sled. Another Florida puller. Let's see if he can read this track too.
This is Charlie Lowe in Killer 2. This is the retiree. 1990 blue Ford Ranger, 688 cubic inches. Over 60 years of age, he's retired, and this is how he spends his retirement. West Palm Beach, Florida, home for Charlie Lowe, the Killer 2. Once again, he has to pull it out of here. He needs a full pull to stay in competition.
There's a lot of moisture in the air, and that moisture settling on the top, about top half-inch of clay on the track. If you get through the top clay, you can make a good run. Low.
Does it? It looks like he does it. Another full pull.
Yep.
Oh, we'll be here till breakfast with all the pull-offs.
And remember, there's a big storm about 10 miles out is the word we're getting from the track crew. So a lot of pressure right now on the Davis County Lions Club members.
Well, they're calling these official, but obviously we need more weight on the sled, but they can't add it now because the class is underway.
Yeah, if they add the weight, they have to go back from ground zero and start the class all over again. They've guys that have already run do not want to do that. They've got too much heat in the engine and clutch.
Of course, keep in mind with the bad weather, the ominous clouds that we have right now, we have an excellent crowd on hand, and they have been very patient. And what is this? We're going to add some weight now?
Yeah, Gary, we're just getting word they are going to go back and regroup on this. 2,200 more pounds of weight is going in the skid pan.
Army will step aside as they sort this out and come back with more from Owensboro.